Welcome to the Adult Basic Skills Professional Development video series. Throughout our productions, we are committed to excellence in adult education and professional development in basic skills instruction. The goal of this video series is to improve the effectiveness and quality of instruction through focused professional development.
The initial interview is a time that we have initial contact with students where they can come in, meet the instructor, get acquainted, get some direction, find out a little bit about the person's own life and interests and also their goals, and that's very important. The initial interview is important because it sort of sets a tone for everything that's going to follow, and it provides the instructor with a lot of information about that new student. In that initial interview, you get information like the home and work situation, family, purpose for coming to the ABS program. You get
For many adults who want to improve their education, the process of developing basic skills may be complicated by a host of variables, such as past failures, time demands, financial pressures, raising children, emotional stress, and lack of confidence, just to name a few. Therefore, from the student's perspective, the initial interview could be the most critical part of reaching their educational goals. Most adults are unsure of what to expect when they take the step to ask for help from an unknown instructor or tutor. If the initial interview is too stressful and frustrating for the adult learner, he or she may not return. It's important in the initial interview to help the student feel accepted, valued, and listened to. It's important that we help the adult student feel comfortable. We do this by building rapport with our student and developing a mutual relationship of trust. How does this relationship begin? We start by introducing ourselves to the student and asking the student what he or she would prefer to be called. It is helpful to treat the student as a peer. We explain what kind of information is needed from the student and how that information will be used. A well-informed student will know what to expect from the instructor and in turn feel more relaxed about the interview.
Most adults have some fear and some concerns about coming, and it may be a very tense time for an adult. As there are many types of adults, there are many types of reactions, but overall they're usually very cautious and stressed in some measure. If you have an instructor who is very warm and caring and can break down that tension and those concerns, then you can put that adult at ease. It's important then to get the student to be relaxed. Show the student that you are his or her friend, and you want to work on a collegial level rather than on a level where you have the instructor up here and the student down here. It's common ground for both.
We continue by clarifying the student's goals in a non-threatening way. Active listening is an essential part of this process because it enables the student to share more openly with the instructor. We begin by listening for personal goals or wishes in the student's comments and restating them as clearly as possible. We want to help the student determine his or her goals and reasons for starting the Basic Skills program.
Tell me some of the kinds of things you'd like to learn how to do better.
Well, I need some help in reading better. I don't have a job right now, and I probably need to be able to get one.
Okay. What have you been doing?
Well, I just do a lot of stuff around the house. I like to cook a lot, and we go to church a lot.
So the church and cooking are two things that are really important to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As a part of the initial interview, the student must see the relationship between learning and the accomplishment of his or her personal goals. This requires the instructor to explain the program of study and how it will help the student achieve his or her goals. Understanding the program of study will help the student keep a clear focus on his or her reasons for starting the program.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are the kinds of things you think you'd need to learn to do the restaurant job? Is there some things that you think we could help you with there?
Well, probably would need to be able to read better, because if we make stuff, like reading recipes, I need to know how to read better.
Okay.
And
sometimes a little math there too?
Yeah,
okay.
If I have to, like making change and counting money.
Is that
I
a problem
need some help.
sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's part of this whole thing too. We'll eventually, in a couple of days, we'll probably get a little sample of kind of math that you do real well.
Okay.
And then we can sort of tailor some math lessons so that they'll sort of fit making the change stuff better and writing checks or whatever else that you eventually want to learn how to do better. Is that okay?
Furthermore, we want to verbally recognize our students' strengths and accomplishments. We start by commending the student on wanting to get more education. From time to time, comment on something the student does well. Honest encouragement or praise is usually well received by the student, but flattery is immediately recognized and often counterproductive.
Good. And what's this last one?
It's telephone.
Telephone, all right. See, and what we are going to do is work until you can put the words together and get those same kind of messages out of the words. But you know a lot already.
And last, we want to give the student immediate success by using a trial lesson. Many adults have had unsuccessful experiences in school because they were asked to read material that was too hard. We want our students' trial lesson to be different. We want to give the student a lesson that is easy enough for him or her to perform well.
Let's try this sentence. What I'm going to do is take one of the things you just told me and we'll turn it into a reading lesson. Okay? Okay. This is we go to church on Sunday. Right? Why don't you read that back to me?
We go to church on Sunday.
All right.
Understanding the components of the initial interview is important because it is often the first impression that a prospective student gets of the program. The way the student feels after the initial interview will often determine whether or not he or she returns. We must help the student to feel comfortable in the learning environment. Now let's review the components of the initial interview. Number 1, we start by building rapport with our student. Our goal is to help the student feel at ease. Number 2, we continue by clarifying the student's goals in a non-threatening way. We want to help the student establish specific learning goals based on the needs that he or she has expressed. Number 3, recognizing students' strengths and accomplishments are important and that it provides honest encouragement for the student. And number 4, providing the student with immediate success by giving him or her a trial lesson will help the student build confidence and self-esteem. These are just a few ideas that may help you have a more successful initial contact with future students.